Hello, hello, hello. My name's Josh, and I'm just kind of giving you an introduction to A Place to Talk, who we are, and what we are. Actually, A Place to Talk has been going for 16, 17 years, maybe 18 years. Anyway, it's been a long time. And so I feel like it's time to start a YouTube channel. We're going to we've kind of started, but we're going to kind of restart, relaunch. But for the purpose of this YouTube channel, we're going to launch a study of the words of Jesus. So, A Place to Talk started as a church, and we're still a part of the church. We're still a church, but I really think we're significantly unique. I mean, we're not like other churches out there. Maybe we ought to be more like other churches. Maybe our goal should be more like other churches, but that's not what we are today. Today, we're a group that gathers. We happen to gather on a Sunday morning. That's just like church. We probably function a little more like a Sunday school class, like a small Sunday school class, because that's what we are. We're a tiny little group that meet each week, and we're still faithful to the original concept. When we began, I want to say it was in 2000 and I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 2009 maybe. Um, but when A Place to Talk started, we kind of kicked off with these few principles that we would try to live by. We would always be a place where talking was normal. We had this. I'll tell you what happened. My wife and I worked in a big church, and in that big church, we found ourselves, not going into the services. We were helping outside of the services. We were directing traffic, helping people get their kids into the preschool or into their nursery so that they could go to church, and helping people when they came to visit, helping them find the right place. And then we would end up sitting outside of the church service in this big welcome area, and we were watching the church service on closed caption TV, or not. Anyway, it was just TV. It was a TV. Church was going on inside. We were outside. You didn't have to be quiet like you do in church. And so we would talk. We would listen to the service, and we would discuss. We would talk. We would always invite somebody to be there with us. And so my wife and I, and usually another person or another couple, would sit, and we would listen to the church service, and we would talk, and we would just kind of be together, think together, talk together. And we had a great time. We really enjoyed that concept. And we almost were like, this is better than being inside, because, when the preacher says something we disagree with, we can look at each other and talk about it out loud. And when the preacher says something we think is really good, we can look at it and talk about it. And when the preacher says something we think is self-serving, we can say, hey, whoa, that doesn't make sense. Why would you say that? But long story short, we just kind of came to the conclusion that church should be a place to talk. We wanted church to be a place to talk, and a place where every person's journey was celebrated. We don't care if, it doesn't matter to us where you're at on your journey. We just wanted a church to be a place where people's journey is celebrated. We wanted church to be a place where priesthood could be practiced. And you say priesthood, that sounds very churchy. The only thing we mean by that is we want every single person to be able to and to see their role as helping other people. So we don't need a priest or a king or a leader or a father or a teacher. What we need is people who are helping each other, who are doing life together. So we always wanted to be a place where Christ was exalted. So Jesus is our guide. That's kind of we believe Jesus. There's something unique about Jesus and the story of Jesus, the message of Jesus. We see that as a beautiful, unique, powerful story. And so we decided we would want to always be a place where the message, the ideas of Jesus were exalted. So Jesus, a place where Christ is exalted, a place where priesthood is practiced, and that just means we serve each other. A place where talking is normal, and a place where the journey is celebrated. So these are the things that A Place to Talk wanted to be. At some point over the years, there was this poem introduced at A Place to Talk. I'm going to read it now. It says, God is love is the message here. Jesus is our guide here. No father, teacher, or leader here. Every voice is equal here. Married, divorced, and single here. It's one family that gathers here. Conservative and liberal here. We like to listen here. Doubt, unbelief, and believe here. We all can receive here. LGBTQ and straight here. Hate is not welcome here. Love is supreme here. We won't trade in fear here. Every race, every walk, all may talk here. So as we've been kind of developing who we are as a place, that poem just kind of resonated for us. And I don't know where that poem came from. I mean, I think it's unique to A Place to Talk. I think it's a creation of the people of A Place to Talk. But long story short, that's kind of who we are. Okay, so now I've kind of told you our history. We started sometime back. I want to say it was 2009, sometime in the past, 2000, maybe 2006. That would make us 19 years old. I don't know. Anyway, A Place to Talk. It started sometime in the past. We've been doing it for a long time, over 15 years for sure. And it's a tiny little group, and we gather in the little Brookford community of Hickory, North Carolina. And you say Hickory or Brookford, which is, well, Hickory is this city, and there's this little pocket inside the city called Brookford, and so we meet there. We've got a building here where we meet. I'm sitting in that building now. Okay, so I've told you a little bit about who we are. We just meet every Sunday morning, and that's currently it. That's the only time we meet. We meet on Sundays, and we have conversations. And for the next 124 or so weeks, our conversation is going to be from the red letter words. So the words that Jesus spoke, or is the words that are recorded that we are taught or believe that Jesus spoke. We're going to talk about those words. We're going to go through them, all the way. And I've kind of outlined at least 124 conversations, because it'll probably take some of those, there might be too much subject matter. And so we might have to take some of those conversations and break them out in 2 and 3 weeks. So at least for the next 124 weeks, we're going to be talking about the red letters, the words of Jesus. Now, I gave you the poem. I gave you our history. This is who A Place to Talk is. I want to give you one more thing before I close this video that is kind of an introduction to A Place to Talk. And then I'll tell you one more thing about how you can be involved even if you're not in this community. Okay, if you're not near Hickory, North Carolina. Okay, so next, we have created this symbol, this drawing. You can see it right above if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it in the YouTube banner. And it's to the left-hand side, and it's a circle, except it's got these lines dashing off of it, and these lines causing it to look like we imagine it is a circle that is rolling or progressing, okay? And so that symbol kind of tells us who we are. We would say that A Place to Talk is a place, or a circle. We're a circle of a community. Our community is a circle, but it's got open doors. So our circle has open doors. It's always progressing, and that's symbolized by the rolling forward, and it will expand for you. Our circle, we've been saying for quite some time that we would rather build larger tables instead of fences. We don't want to build walls. We don't want to build fences. We want to just invite you in and build a bigger table. And you say, Josh, if you're wanting to build bigger tables, why are you such a small group? I'll tell you why we're such a small group. I didn't intend to say this in this video, but here's why we're such a small group. And man, I don't want to sound accusatory, but religious communities grow by fear and manipulation. That sounds accusatory, and I guess it is, but to a large extent, um, that's the way religious communities grow. They say if you're not in, you're out, and if you don't say this prayer or do this thing or believe this way, you might be tortured in a fire for eternity. Well, we simply just don't believe that that aligns at all with that first line in our poem. God is love is the message here. Jesus is our guide here. So if God's love, we just don't think it's possible to imagine a God of love torturing people. That just doesn't add up, and so we just say that must be BS. It must be bovine fecal matter or bull crap. And yeah, I just got to be honest with you. I'm trying to not use profanity because I don't want to push anybody away. But in a Sunday morning conversation, somebody might say, that's just BS. That's just bullshit. They might say it. And I don't want to, I neither want to offend you with that and close the door to you, nor do I want to, nor do I want to pretend that that's not who we are. And it's, this is not, I mean, we're not sailors. It's not a profane place. We're not going to, but some crazy things happen and we say, that's bad, that's evil. And we're pretty, how do you say it? We're pretty bold about that. Okay, so our circle has open doors. It's always progressing. It will expand for you. We want to be a place where Christ is exalted, talking is normal, the journey is celebrated, and priesthood is practiced. I don't love the way that sounds, priesthood is practiced. It just means that we don't see Josh or Mark or somebody else as our leader, father, teacher. We believe that everybody's equal and we should all be serving one another and caring for one another and counseling one another and loving one another. And so I hope that kind of gives you an idea of who A Place to Talk is. And over the next 124 plus weeks, I'll be sharing some questions each week, and you're welcome to be a part of this and just communicate. You say, Josh, how can I be a part? Well, I'm going to post these on Facebook. I'm not Facebook. I'm going to post these on YouTube. So there's going to be a YouTube channel, and each talk will probably be longer than it should be. But it'll be from on a weekly basis. I'll post questions. Now, these questions and this weekly conversation might not align perfectly with what we do at A Place to Talk, but I'm just going to be consistent and get a question set up about every week for hopefully from now on. And so you want to be a part, you can subscribe, you can follow, you can like, you can share, you can comment, you can ask questions in the comments. You can give us questions that are better questions than the ones that I'm asking. We will post a question video regularly, and as we have conversations, we'll post a video where I'm just kind of talking about what was said or how we responded to those questions, because I'm going to ask the questions, and on those Sunday mornings as we talk, I'm going to write down and jot down what people are saying and thinking, and I'll try to share that with you in a follow-up video on a regular basis. And okay, I think that kind of covers it. That's who we are, A Place to Talk. This is us kind of launching a YouTube channel that it's going to be consistent starting now. And okay, so what else? Well, every week, for the first couple of weeks, I'm just going to anyway, if you want to lead a conversation like this, if you want to create a place to talk in Montana or Germany or South Carolina or Charlotte or Arizona, wherever you are, if you want to say, oh wow, this is an opportunity for me to have a place for people to talk, because I kind of get it. I believe God's love is the message. I want it to be the message in my community. And so if you want to kind of copy or follow along, you can just message me, and I'm going to share with you what we're doing on this journey. And we will, anyway, that's it. Reach out to me, follow up, like, subscribe, participate, all you can. Thank you for being here, or for listening.